Welcome back to Project Zomboid. Today we're starting off roughly where we left off last time. I'm going back to this city area to search for more loot. Even though I feel relatively safe for the time being, I know this won't last forever. Sooner or later they'll figure out where I am, and I'll have no option but to fight. I decide to check mainly houses. I know that later on I'm going to be spending quite a lot of time indoors, so it's best to try and find some food or even some books to keep me entertained. Unfortunately for me, food rarely spawns around here. At least the alternates are easy to deal with when they're alone. I don't want to see what happens when they start grouping up. Unfortunately for me, most houses didn't really have anything of interest. Just a lot of basic loot. Only now and then would I find something useful. On the other side of the street, I spotted a seemingly abandoned looking house. It wasn't, however, empty. As you saw in the previous clip, the main problem with the alternates is definitely their strength. I really can't afford to get hit in a vital area just because of how strong their attacks are. Every time I hear one, I have to start looking around me to make sure they're not coming in from behind. At this point, it was already 5:40 and I didn't feel like being outside after dark. I decided to start making my way home. Even though I'm using this as a safe house for now, it's still far from safe. Before I can feel secure in here whatsoever, I want to at least barricade all the windows. Unfortunately, I don't have any nails, so right now I can't do anything about it. Every time I'm seemingly alone here, I feel incredibly uneasy. I know that most of the time, if I'm not fully zoomed out, the alternates are going to see me before I see them. Additionally, they can see perfectly through the fog, and I have no idea where they could be hiding. Regardless, I had seen on my map the edge of a commercial building. I don't know what it could be, but I was praying it was a hardware store. I decided to go check it out, even though it seemed to be in a pretty densely populated area. There were quite a few houses here, but maybe that would mean some more shops too. I really gotta start being more careful. If I hadn't heard it running to me, I would have probably died. And whatever happened to that lady, I also don't want to find out. Immediately, I could tell this area had a lot more alternates. I was trying to formulate a plan as to how I would fight only one at a time. It was going to be pretty difficult considering they were almost evenly spaced. Then one of them disappeared into the woodwork. This is a lot worse. Now I don't even know if it saw me and if it's going to charge at me. At least I know where the other one is, but now I have to be extra careful and try and find out where this idiot went to hide. And somehow it was just gone. This is even worse, as at least before I could assume where it was. Now I have actually no clue where it is, meaning it's going to jump at me from some completely unexpected place. I figured the best spot I could be in right now was this house. I did not like, however, the fact that one of the windows was broken, meaning something was either in here or passed through here. The alternates, however, can't seem to help themselves from making loud noises, and I couldn't hear anything. So for the time being at least, I felt like I was safe enough. Looking into the street, I could see a store nearby. What I couldn't see were the positions of any alternates, meaning I was bound to get ambushed. I decided to check out the store that was farther from this house. I still didn't know where that alternate went, and I didn't know if it was hanging out with any friends. So I decided I should try and clear out this diner. Unfortunately, that also didn't seem to be empty, but at least I could see where these were. I could see 3 alternates here, but I decided to play on the fact that they have exceptionally bad hearing. Regardless, I am still taking a huge risk here. 2 alternates are enough to drag me down and kill me. I had to make sure that if I was going to fight more than one, they would be both coming in from the same direction, and I could stagger them easily. Two down. It seems like there's only one left. I quickly looked around the parking lot just to make sure there weren't any more hiding around somewhere, and it seemed clear enough. Looking inside, I also couldn't hear any more alternates inside the diner. They were, however, just hiding. Made my way into the diner, and once again, note how I can't hear anything. Clearly there shouldn't be any more here, right? After that very lucky dodge, I figured it was finally clear. Unfortunately, this building housed the world's most useless kitchen. I kid you not, there wasn't a single food item in the entire kitchen. Afterwards, I decided to check out this store on the other side of the street. I couldn't tell what it was from here, but I could tell that it was at least protected by a couple more alternates. Once again, the plan was pretty much the same. I would try and approach slowly to see if I could get them one-on-one. I did, however, see what seemed to be a police officer. This one actually had a shotgun on their back. This would be helpful later. In fact, the first alternate I killed seemed to be some kind of survivalist, as they dropped a machete and an aluminum baseball bat, but I didn't take the latter. I set my sights on the police alternate. He seemed to be alone, so hopefully I could take him out and grab his shotgun. Unfortunately, the alternates in this store had a different plan. Now that the coast actually seemed to be clear, I sneaked up on the police alternate. Once again, I seemed to be pushing my luck. I didn't get hit again because of a super lucky dodge, but at least now I had a shotgun and a holster for my pistol. The store still wasn't empty though. Now that I had the place pretty much cleared down, I decided to get looting. In this storage room, I found what I assumed to be gravel bags just from the sight. I did, however, make a mistake. Even though I thought they were going to be useless, it turned out they were going to be some of the most valuable items I had found the entire run. These bags held tons of fresh fruit that I could bring back and put in my freezer, and there were a lot of them. On top of that, these shelves also had a lot of canned food stored. This was a very good sign, to say the least. At least now I had enough food to last me for quite a while, and I could focus on defending my house. Now being almost over encumbered, I decided to write down on my map that there was not only a water dispenser here, but also a hardware store across the street. I decided to start making my way home. Unfortunately, the path was blocked by a few alternates. Even while using a machete, these things are taking up to 5 or 6 hits before they go down. They are stupidly strong. Regardless, I managed to make it home safely so that I could drop off my items. The next day, I decided to head over to the tool store. Right now I was mainly looking for nails so that I could actually barricade my house, but any tools would also be helpful. And yes, what you heard there was the bite sound effect. Thankfully I only got bit in my chest, and the alternates don't actually have transmission, meaning it's going to hurt for a while, but at least I'm not dead. After that, reaching the tool store was actually very easy, as no other alternates stopped me. Now that I had the tool store for myself, I realized that it's actually the same store that appears in Blackwood. Except this one is actually well kept and the windows don't have those indestructible barricades on them. After searching around for a little bit, I found a stash of tools and, more importantly, the first box of nails. The tools were going to be nice in case I ever needed to replace my weapons. Not only that, but there was also a second water dispenser in here. And this time, since I was carrying less things with me, I decided I could bring it back home. I decided that I would barricade every window twice. No more, so that I could still fire out from them. This way, if the alternates ever came around and decided to start trying to break in, I could still shoot at them from the windows without them being able to get in. By now, I've double barricaded just about every door. So I think at least for now I should be safe. I think. I could already hear them outside. I had no idea just how many were out there, but they were already trying to get in. My terrible aim definitely wasn't going to help my situation here. Thankfully for me, the need to aim a shotgun is nearly non-existent. Unfortunately, I could still hear them banging on all of my windows, and I figured more of them were definitely coming. I tried to take a peek outside just to see if there was anything there, but they seem to all be trying to attack my windows right now. If you weren't convinced that these things were tough, that one just ate a shotgun shell like it was nothing. I could tell my defenses weren't going to hold up much longer. I could hear them coming in from just about anywhere now. My guns were basically as efficient as toys. They barely did anything to even stop them. More and more of them were coming. Eventually they managed to break in from one of the windows I hadn't been looking at. While trying to run away, I got surrounded.